Hi everybody, this is Liz with 143 Handmade, and I'm here today to do a Mass Make Monday, and we're going to make these little pockets, over the page pockets. And I brought along several different kinds of paper so you can see, how it looks. And I also wanted to show the difference between, I'm not sure how well this is going to pick up on camera, but the difference between white glue and the Fabrifix. See, the white glue, there's like a crinkly effect, a warply, there's lots of wrinkles and folds, and it's not a bad look. It just, if you want a cleaner, more crisp look, the silicone glue does not warple the paper the same way. So there's that. And you can use cardstock, you can use book page. Because you're folding it and whatnot, I would not recommend using a brittle book page, but you can use book page. It's one of my favorite ways to use up book page, actually. I have two different kinds of book page here, as well as some scrapbook papers, just to show you some variations on this. We're just going to go ahead and start with these. This one, I took a book and just set a bunch of pages up and then just tore off all the white space so that way the text goes all the way to the edge. And that's all I've done to this so far. But in order to make these, oh wait, do I want to use that one? No, I don't want to use that one. Okay. We'll use this one. We'll use this one with some text on both sides. But so to make these, you fold it in half, whatever size paper you have, fold it in half, and then you open it back up. And you fold your corners down, and you want to fold just shy of your center fold. You do not want it to get all bunchy in there when it goes around a page. And then you fold down the other side, again leaving a gap. When you use book page, it's kind of nice because this one it shows it really well. So you fold it right on the middle of that text, and so if I fold down to just each line of that text, that gives it a good buffer for the hinge space. But then after you have that done, you open it back up like this, or at least this is what I do, and put my ruler along here and tear this piece off. And that's how you get the little triangle. And then of course you go back in with your glue, and you can then ink it or whatever else that you want to do with it. The other option I'll show real quick is to do the same thing, only don't rip off that bottom portion, because it folds around the page just fine, it creates a pocket just fine, and it saves you that step. I just prefer the little triangles. I'm not sure why, but I do. But yeah, so you can see that, and then you would install this the same way, which I will show in a few minutes after we get down to the end. But so here's just another kind of book page. This one's a little bit bigger, obviously. And if you've got one edge that's all roughly like this, I highly recommend using the other edge, the factory edge for these, because it works better. Okay, so that got a little bit off, a little askew there, so I'm going to refold that just a little bit. Okay, there we go. And you can do these either way, it doesn't matter like which way. Like, yeah, I folded it that way to begin with, but if let's say I want to do it this way, so that way there's the white space on the outside, you can totally do that. Just turn it around, no big deal. And then we just fold those in. So, these are super simple, easy to make. Anybody can do this. You got a little bit of paper, and I'm going to tear that off. And let's go ahead and just show how I glue it real quick. I like the Fabrifix because it doesn't warple the pages. But I do use the white glue on some pages. Like if I'm going to do a very grungy journal, sometimes I'll go ahead and crinkle this first and then create the pocket, or create the pocket and then crinkle it. So if I'm going to be doing a lot of crinkle work, I just use the white glue because it's cheaper and the warples will just add to the design. So there we go. And we fold it like that. And as you can see, the text is, you know, on its side, and, you know, if you don't like that, then you're not going to be able to use book pages for this and make any kind of decent sized ones. It's just not going to happen. But let's say you have some square scrapbooking paper. You can totally use these. This one's going to make a fairly small one, but that's okay. We can need small ones too. And when you're working with a square piece of paper, I highly recommend folding it in half and cutting it, tearing it, whatever, but making it 2 half pieces first and then creating your pocket. And so using double-sided paper is kind of nice because then you can make one of each kind. You know, I'm having a hard time seeing where that is in all these lines. Okay, it's in between these two. So, and actually I wonder if you could, yeah, you totally could. You could totally fold this out like this and make this a flip. I'll have to play with that a little bit. But, so there we go. Let's see, I did this one with the flowers on the outside. So this one I'm going to do with the stripe on the outside. So it's still the same process. You just fold it in half. And then, I don't know why I'm having such a hard time seeing my crease on these. Then you fold it like so. And like so. You don't want to use like super heavyweight cardstock. This is being a little bit difficult because it's really stiff. But then you would glue those down, and then there's that. There we go. Let's go ahead and do it like normal on that one. So now you would have 2 coordinating ones because they are the same paper, you know, it's just both sides of it. So if you can't decide how to use a double-sided paper because you love both sides, here's an option, you know. And let's see, that was a little, let's see, how big was that? Let me grab another sheet. I'm not going to make another one, I'm just going to measure this. This is from that same stack. Let's see, this is just shy of 6 by 6 because they're squares. So, yeah, so those are 6 by 6s. This is an 8 by 8. And you do this the same way. You know, it doesn't really matter, but if it's square paper, like I said, I do recommend going ahead and giving yourself the 2 separate pieces. Oh, should have used my ruler. I don't know what I was doing. There we go. Much better. And it'll still work, you know, even with this weird little piece, you know, pulled off of there. It will still totally work just fine. So we go ahead and fold it like so. And then, because that weird little edge is just going to disappear on the inside of this. Like so. Oh, I don't want it like that. I want it folded better. Come on. There we go. That's where I want it. So, just like so. And it doesn't matter if they're exactly equal because they're going to be on 2 different pages, you know? So, don't worry about it if it's, you know, not quite perfect, or if you want it to be perfect, you can go back and then trim this right, you know, to make it perfectly straight right now. Let me grab some scissors and show that. Let's see, there we go. And that evens that right out. So, dab of glue. Here we go. Oh, I forgot to set up my timer again. Oh man, I saw this timer on a lady's YouTube channel the other day. It's a quilting YouTube channel, but she had this awesome timer where it's just a cube, and whatever number is facing up, you just tap the top of it, and it's a timer for that time. So like it had a 30 minutes, it had 5 minutes, it had 15 minutes, you know, on different sides. And so, yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. But, so there we go. And then this one's just another plain cardstock, but it works just the same. Don't forget to, you know, and you could do it the other way where you fold it in half, you know, the other way and rip it off the bottom, just like I did with the book page, but I find this easier. But do whatever, you know, whatever's easier for you, because we all think about things in angles especially. We all think about angles differently. I've learned I've tried to teach people different crafts. You know, angles is something that we really, really see differently. And nobody's right or wrong. I mean, well, I mean, I guess you can be, but like, you know, as long as you get to the, you know, the end product is something that you like, it doesn't really matter how you think about the angles. So there we go. Oh, no. It's got some bits in it. So there we go. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that this inspires you to get out your book pages, your scrap papers, you know, whatever size you have, and give it a go. Thank you so much for watching, hanging out with me today, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you like, of course. And those thumbs up and the comments, those all really help a YouTube channel grow. So any YouTube channel that you really, you know, you want to show some love to, that's one of the easiest things you can do, is hitting that like button when you like a video. So thanks so much. And okay, let's go ahead and install one of these into my Mass Make Monday journal here. Let's see, what page do we want to install one of these on? Let's see, we've got 3 signatures. It's a little pocket, I guess. I get confused. I forget what I put into different pages. Let's go ahead and put one on this page. It's just a big book, big cream colored text page. There we go. Yeah, no, I don't like that. That's what I was gonna do, but I don't like it. Let's see, what about on this page? Yeah, I like that. Yeah. There we go. That'll be nice. So add a pocket there. Oh, dropped it. Dropped in the pocket. And then we'll also install one of the other styles, so that way you can see them both in the book. And then how I install them is I just come in and I run just a little bit of glue right down the edge and then right along the bottom. There we go. And you do want a small bead of glue. This is kind of a large bead of glue, actually. But you know, if you've watched my channel for any length of time, you know that I over glue things. That's just the way that I roll. I want to make sure everything's in there really well. So let me just gently tuck that in. There we go. And then of course, if you want to ink it up or, you know, anything like that, it's easier to do before you install it. So let's see, on this one, for this journal, I'm going to go ahead and just go with my black. This is Ranger. It is the Ranger archival ink, permanent waterproof, jet black. Just in case anybody's wondering, but I don't think it really matters, you know. There's a lot of really good glue, or not glues, well, glue is out there too, but you know, a lot of inks, whatever ink you have, it will be great. You don't worry about getting the newest product. The only reason why I have this new ink pad is because my black ink pad that I've had for over 20 years finally just the felt piece on top, it just gave out. It was funky. It was time, you know. But I do not invest in a lot of tools. I try and create for as little money as possible. You know, I raised a house full of kids on a shoestring budget, as my grandma would have said, and I just got used to doing everything very inexpensively. And so, and then with today's climate and everything, it's getting, you know, that's a very important skill to have, right? Let's see, do I want to trim that up? No. Let's see. Oh, I don't want to cover up the little birdie. Let's find another page for you. Nope, don't really want to cover that up. Let's see, this looks like a good page because you'll still be able to see the picture. Yeah, that'll be nice. And so this way you get to see, you know, how the two different styles work. Which are essentially the same. It's a slightly different look, but you install them the exact same way. You just have the glue along that bottom and along the paper edge. And then just wrap it around. There you go. And then on these you could add a little bit more glue right there. I don't like to when it's such a small edge because I would probably end up tearing that apart anyway, so I tend to just leave it not glued. So there we go. And then another little quick tip is if you want to, we'll give those a second to dry and then we'll look at them again. But if you want to like push the text back, you know, to where it's just not so in your face, you just take a stencil, and it doesn't matter what color ink you use. This is just the black ink I already had on there. It doesn't matter that the stencil moved a little, that my stencil is kind of beat up and, you know, folded up in spots. Doesn't matter. And then you just pick it up and just place it again. Sign again until you have covered whatever area that you feel you want to cover up. This is a great place to use your different colored inks, you know, instead of always using the same one color ink. This would be a great place to use more than one color. But as you can see, that really, like, it pushes the text back and makes it just part of the design. And, you know, I didn't even do like this stencil very well, you know, so that is another little tip there. So thank you so much.